Hi guys, welcome back to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Max.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
And it's just the two of us carrying the fort again.
Here we are indeed.
Mike,
yeah.
which is weird, depending on how I release these videos. It's really weird, like, oh, we're back again. This is the first one that comes out.
Yeah. I'm saying, where's Daz?
Yeah, where's Daz? He's not here. He's ill. He went home.
A bit poorly today. So
Aiden's ill as well, so if you see a...
so give him a bit of time off and
a bit of
get
inconsistency in uploads on the OB Daz channel. That's why. There you go. But hopefully he's all right tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully it's just a 24-hour thing. Going to be up and running tomorrow.
Exactly. So we thought we'd try something a little different. I know you've done the channel before, which is Simple History.
Yeah.
And this is why are the British so eccentric in war?
Right, okay.
Which is stereotype at its best.
I like the caption there. Drinking a cup of tea and...
Cup of tea, little bowler hat on.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Why are Brits so eccentric in war? War, it's supposed to be grim, disciplined, and deadly serious. But leave it to the British to bring a bit of oddball charm to the battlefield. Whether it's making tea under fire, charging tanks with umbrellas, or playing the bagpipes in a POW camp, British troops have long blended courage with eccentricity in ways that often leave the rest of the world baffled. These quirks weren't just for show. They were sometimes bizarre, sometimes brilliant, and always unmistakably British. Tea time waits for no one. Perhaps the most famous British idiosyncrasy was the national obsession with tea. Conflict, destruction, or imminent death, none of it would come between a Brit and a good cuppa. During the Blitz, as German bombs rained down on London, mobile tea vans were dispatched to the ruins. They weren't armed, they didn't carry medical supplies, they carried kettles and tea. Firefighters, rescue workers, and ambulance crews all could expect a steaming mug waiting for them as soon as the flames were under control. This tradition followed British soldiers to the front lines. Mobile canteens were sent into combat zones solely to keep morale high through the simple act of serving tea. When these weren't available, troops improvised. Kettles were jerry-rigged, stoves assembled from scrap, and in the middle of a firefight, you might find a Tommy crouched behind cover, calmly boiling water. One such moment of devotion ended in disaster. In 1944, near the French town of Villers-Bocage, British tank crews paused to brew tea, only to be ambushed and destroyed by a single Tiger tank. That distraction proved fatal. Lesson learned. To prevent future casualties over tea, the British Army took action. Since then, their tanks have come equipped with internal boiling vessels, ensuring that a hot drink is always just a flick of a switch away.
Most British thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, it's really, isn't it? Yeah.
We're really not helping the stereotype here whatsoever.
I know, yeah. We always had a bit of a reputation for a stiff upper lip, didn't they, the British?
Yeah.
Especially like, 19th century sort of thing in the earlier wars.
No one's going to get in between us and our tea.
I know, yeah. I'm not sure if it's still the same these days.
No, I mean, we do love tea. But, I'm not a tea drinker myself, but I kind of get it because it's just like more of the sort of mobile sort of tea units. Because it's just like a bit of normality, a bit of home.
That's exactly what it was, wasn't it? It's trying to just carry on as normal. You're in a really, really bad situation, in conflicts, in wars, but
absolutely.
But then, nice cup of tea, it's like taking them back to home and, keeping it sort of like a bit normal for them for a short time.
Like, I think even now, like after like a busy day, I'll have a cup of tea, sit down, and we're back into it.
Yeah.
Take your 5 minutes.
It's still a thing.
Yeah. And that it's not. It's quite a nice thing because you go like, oh, we're still the same.
Yeah,
still the same. Even though they were going through the worst event in modern history, pretty much.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely
terrible. Yeah.
To this day, British tank crews can make a brew without exposing themselves to enemy fire. Absolute madmen, Jack Churchill and the sword of war. When you hear about a man going into World War II armed with a long bow and a broadsword, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's a myth. But John Malcolm Fleming Churchill, Mad Jack to both his friend and foes, was very real. A professional soldier and champion archer, Churchill believed, as he put it, quote, "Any officer who goes into action without his sword is improperly dressed," end quote. He wasn't joking. During the retreat from France in 1940, Churchill and his men encountered a German patrol. With perfect composure, he took aim with his longbow and felled a German sergeant. the only confirmed kill with a bow and arrow in the entire war. Later in Norway,
Wow.
he led charges armed with a claymore. On one occasion, he and a single comrade infiltrated a German position using stealth and steel. He approached their post in the dead of night and threatened them with his sword. 42 soldiers surrendered to the madman with the blade. When eventually wounded in Italy, Churchill, bleeding but unperturbed, calmly pulled out his bagpipes and played a Scottish tune until the Germans arrived. He was sent to a concentration camp. He escaped, captured again, escaped again, and when the war finally ended, he was reportedly disappointed, stating, quote, "If it wasn't for those damn Yanks, we could have kept the war going for another 10 years. Mad Jack may have loved the sound of his bagpipes, but sometimes you need to hear the world around you while still keeping your own soundtrack. That's where today's sponsor, Raycon, comes in.
No way.
Raycon's essential open earbuds are designed to
boys.
keep
That
your
was
ears
smooth.
open
That was
while
smooth.
still
Hey.
deliver- Brought to you by Raycon, the Umbrella Commando. If Churchill was a throwback to medieval warfare, then Major Alison Digby Tatum Warder was Victorian eccentricity in combat boots. Serving in the 1st Airborne Division during Operation Market Garden, he gained notoriety not just for courage, but for doing everything slightly oddly. Anticipating communication breakdowns, he ordered his men to learn bugle calls instead of relying on radios.
Christ.
He frequently forgot passwords at checkpoints, so he carried a large umbrella, reasoning, it would be quite obvious to anyone that the bloody fool carrying the umbrella could only be an Englishman. It worked. In one engagement under heavy German fire, he calmly walked through the chaos to rescue the battalion chaplain. "Don't worry about the bullets, I've got an umbrella," he reassured him. Later, in an iconic moment of absurdity, Tatum Warder led a charge against German tanks, armed with nothing but a pistol and the same umbrella. Wearing a bowler hat for good measure, he thrust the umbrella into the vision slit of an armored car, injuring the driver and disabling the vehicle. Let it be recorded, a British officer once took out an armored car with rain gear. The Chindits,
jeez.
oddballs
That's real,
behind
that's
enemy
ridiculous.
lines.
Wow. I hope it is real.
While eccentricity makes for great stories, sometimes it's a prerequisite for survival. In Japanese-occupied Burma, the jungle proved just as dangerous as the enemy. Conventional tactics failed. Enter Brigadier Ord Wingate and Mad Mike Calvert, the two unorthodox commanders, with an even more unorthodox plan to create long-range air-supplied commando units that would harass Japanese forces far behind enemy lines. Their recruits were a special breed. Men who were either incredibly brave or slightly unhinged. One was a demolition expert from the Black Watch, another a Rhodesian hangman. One reportedly ate cigarettes rather than smoked them. Observers referred to them as odds and sods, including several lunatics and deserters. They
Really?
were known as the
So
Chindits, a corrupted pronunciation of the Burmese word for lion. Operating in brutal conditions, they built strongholds deep in enemy territory and launched constant raids. When ammunition ran low, they fought hand-to-hand. Stories abound of Japanese troops being killed with rifle butts, helmets, or captured swords. One sergeant is said to have wrestled a katana from a Japanese officer and used it to kill him. Calvert himself once drowned an enemy soldier with his bare hands. The Chindits earned 4 Victoria Crosses, dozens of Distinguished Service Orders, and hundreds of individual decorations. They were feral, fearless, and effective, proof that in certain wars, sanity is optional. Weaponized humor.
I think that's the type of guy you want on your side. isn't
Yeah,
it? People
absolutely.
like that. Absolutely incredible, honestly.
Yeah, if you
it
saw
just
it-
takes a certain type sometimes, doesn't it?
Exactly. Where fear is nowhere, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
not
just-
conceivable.
It just isn't in the vocabulary, is it, of some of these people?
No.
And it's absolutely no surprise whatsoever that the prefix of a couple of these guys is mad. Like Mad Mike and Mad
Odds
Jack.
and
And
sods. That's like the chin bits makes no sense.
No.
I've no idea.
I know,
but
yeah.
that's really. I bet there's loads of stories like that. In
but
in
yeah,
World
and then
War II
it's
where
sort
you
of like
just
stuff of legend, isn't it? Then it
Yeah.
gets carried on and then
It's
it gets
campfire
passed down
stories.
the
Yeah.
generations. But obviously, they've been given medals and Victoria
Yeah,
Crosses and all
absolutely.
sorts. So it's obviously
Well deserved.
absolutely 100% real and everything. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's just honestly, some of these people, it's incredible, isn't it?
I was muted.
Nope, how does he manage that?
British
There you go.
humour is infamous, dry, ironic, and often absurd. And yeah, they used it against the Nazis. At some point during the war, the Germans constructed an elaborate fake airfield, complete with wooden hangars, oil tanks, and even mock aircraft. It was an obvious decoy, designed to trick the Allies into wasting bombs on worthless targets. The British knew it was fake almost immediately, but rather than destroy it, they let the Germans keep building. Once the ruse was complete, an RAF bomber flew over and dropped a single bomb. Wooden, of course. Painted on the sides were the words, "Wood for wood." Whether this tale is entirely true is debatable. Some historians argue it's apocryphal. But eyewitnesses, RAF veterans, and even Luftwaffe personnel have insisted it did happen. And frankly, even if it didn't, it should have. Because dropping a fake bomb on a fake airfield is exactly the kind of psychological warfare only the British would consider worth the fuel.
That's got to be true.
Yeah, 100%.
Sinks. This blend of absurdity and defiance didn't end with World War II. In 1982, during the Falklands War, the Royal Navy's HMS Sheffield was struck by an Exocet missile. As the ship burned and began to sink, her crew stood on deck, awaiting evacuation. The situation was grim. Smoke thick, waters cold, lives at risk. What did the sailors do? They broke into song. Not just any song, but Monty Python's Always Look on the Bright Side of Life.
No.
The irony was sharp, the morale unshaken. The story was taken on board, literally, as the crew of the HMS Coventry also sang the tune when their ship was hit and went down. Apparently, it was a moment that perfectly captured the British wartime spirit, gallows humor wrapped in stoic composure. Conclusion: madness as a method. From swords and umbrellas to teacups and wooden bombs, British eccentricity in wartime wasn't mere showmanship. It was an identity, a national trait weaponized into morale, mischief, and mayhem. When faced with overwhelming odds, some armies double down on discipline. The British? They'll make tea, charge tanks with walking sticks, and whistle a tune as the bombs fall. And somehow, against all reason, it often works. Because when war turns the world upside down, a little madness might be the sanest thing of all.
Yeah, very good.
Nice, good stuff.
Yeah, excellent. It really does show like the dark sense of humour, doesn't it? Especially in really, really bad sort of like situations in war. You know, people singing "Look on the Bright Side of Life," things like that. It's typical British humour, that. Absolutely.
It's one of those things that you just go like, yeah, that's us, man. Yeah, that is really us.
Yeah. I just hope that wooden bomb one's true as well.
Oh yeah, I think I have heard that before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
It'd be so funny, that, wouldn't it? Yeah. You like to think the Germans would look at it and think, yep.
Bastards.
Well, what was the point?
I know.
It'd be a great thing to do.
Again, it's such a British thing to do, just like, wood for wood.
Hey, I know,
Perfect.
Yeah, some great stories there, some real characters there. But
absolutely.
Like I say, you want them on your side, don't you? Some
100%.
of them. The guy with the umbrella as well, and bowler hat.
It's like a double agent. Like it's like James Bond. If he was in World War II. Like ridiculous.
Not sure if we'll get away with it these days, but
when a drone sees him.
Not
a chance.
Great stories there, though.
Absolutely.
Really good.
A really good video. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
That's one. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.